and I think we should be ashamed of this proposal.
Senator Grove.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I have to apologize to staff earlier. I got a little heated. I was upset because I've said on this committee, I think even when I was in the Assembly, and with the billions of dollars that we have in our state budget, it just is beyond compare why we make the decisions to make the cuts to DHCS and not, I don't know, high-speed rail. I realize they come from different pots of money, but whoever automatically starts with this population and the department that Director Bass runs and all the departments that are underneath that is completely unacceptable. It's like you throw them out on the street and they have to beg for every dollar. They have to beg for the rate increases. They have to beg, and we keep mandating information, we keep mandating legislation that affects their ability to operate. Overtime, which I agree, people have to be paid overtime, but like some of this population needs a 24-hour friend or they could die. So the frustration to me is that and that's why I keep asking you who's doing this, because whoever that person is needs to be fired. And the reason why I say that is because I'm trying to be nice and clear up my conversation because of the text message I got, but just trying to drive a point home that the bottom line is that there has to be compassion. When my colleague said, what are you going to do January 1st? Wheel them out in the street in a SNF facility when they can't even get out of bed? When they need somebody to get them up to go to the bathroom or feed them or take care of them? You're just going to roll them out in the street? And you have no answer for that. And so when I look at your responses, I'm like, who are you? I mean, I want to say you're, not going there. It's like there's no compassion in the process. But not you, but the administration who's making these decisions will allocate $1 billion for high-speed rail and $90 million for Planned Parenthood to get a certificate in the Bachelor's of Arts and Science degree or whatever they want to do, and the other dollars, but yet you won't take care of the most vulnerable population. And it's not this, I want everybody in this room and who's listening, it is not this director. I've met this director. She cares deeply about the population that she serves. She is trying to work within the budget constraints that has been given to her, and I don't know how you're going to do your job if they cut all this funding from you. I do have a couple of questions. The attack on our seniors. Is what I'm reading true that if you are a senior on a low income and you own a $2,000 car and, I don't know, some furniture, maybe a lawnmower, whatever, $2,000 per individual, $3,000 per couple. They're not going to be able to qualify for Medi-Cal as a senior in the state of California. You talk about an attack on our silver tsunami. What's that about? Who can explain that to me?
Megan Sabaw, Department of Finance. I believe that you're referring to our asset limit proposal. The administration is proposing to roll back the asset test limit reversal because we saw a drastic increase in senior caseload, and it was one of the most significant drivers to the increased Medi-Cal costs that we're seeing.
So because we have a larger aging population enrolling in Medi-Cal, you're going to stop them from using Medi-Cal services if they have assets over $2,000?
That is what's currently included in the proposal.
$2,000. Let's just add that up. A couch, a dining room table, $1,000 car. We'll just throw that in there. I mean, not that you can't even drive a $1,000 car. We can't even get. It's not going to pass a smog check. So you can't even drive a $1,000 car. I mean, I see the audience over there, seniors. How many of you guys got more than $2,000 in assets? Just $2,000. Who came up with $2,000?
I believe that was originally the requirement before the asset test limit was rolled back.
And when was that determined? When was it rolled back? What year?
I would have to defer to the department on that.
January 1st, 2024. sorry, July 20, sorry. Oh, there's two phases.
That's true.
The first phase was July 1st of 22 when we increased the asset limit to $130K per person. And we fully eliminated counting of the assets on January 1st of 2024.
So we're reinstating that.
Prior, yes,
Yes.
prior to 22.
I just don't think we're taking into consideration, so, and I'm going to talk about a bill that died, but just because it gives reference to this. I introduced a bill to allow seniors to not, to allow an additional tax credit on their homes, because the last time this was done is in 1979, and they got a $7,000 credit, which equates to about $70 in tax credit. And inflation at the time, the average median income was $36,000 for a home. Now the average, not income, excuse me, average home value. The average home value that we have now is $504,000 because of inflation in the state of California, and the credit is still $7,000, meaning $70 or $700, apologize. For their tax credit, there has been a drastic increase in cost to do living in the state of California since even 2022. Utility rates have more than doubled. How do you pay your bills if you're not going to be able to have Medi-Cal and you can't? I mean, you're talking about $2,000 worth of assets. Does that work for the people that you serve, Madam Director? I don't want to put you on the spot. I really like you. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I just one clarification, just
Sure.
for helpful. The asset test does exclude one house and one car, just for so it's above that, just for clarity.
Oh, good. Well, that's a start. One house and one car. Okay. I'm not sure I'm celebrating yet, but I guess when we look at, and I sit on this committee, I just told the chair I want to get off this committee. When I sit on this committee and I see that you, Madam Director, are in charge of California's most vulnerable population, our elderly in the skilled nursing facilities, our seniors on a fixed income, the Medi-Cal population that don't make very much money, and they don't have private pay, they don't have Blue Cross, Blue Shield, they don't have, Kaiser or whatever. And it just baffles me that when there is a budget deficit, that we start with this population and we do drastic cuts. And when you talk about, it's not even proportionate cuts. Based on your budget and the dollars that you get, and the people that you serve, it's not even proportionate. It's not even their pro rata share. It's like saying that these people that we're talking about in DHCS is going to pick up the entire 99% of the budget shortfall, and 1% is going to be distributed between every other agency out there. It's like the reverse of the 99%. It's just nuts. And so I'm not going to ask Department of Finance questions. I have 4, but I'm afraid if you say you don't have the answer, or I'd just probably flip out on you again, and I'd get another text message. I just want you to know my grave disappointment, and whoever's watching from the offices and leadership, I am gravely disappointed that that any of us on this side of the dais, no matter what your party is, would attempt in any way, shape, or form to agree with what's being brought before us right now. And you guys should all be ashamed for bringing it before us. Madam Chair, I also want you to know I think this is going to be political. You're cutting these people's benefits and you're going to blame it on the Trump administration, and we're not going to allow you to do that.
Thank you to both of my senators. Really want to thank you all so much for being here. And these are very, very tough times. Doing your best to try to answer our questions. So I just have a few more, and then you guys will be done with this part. So I want to go back to Prop 56.